What up, y'all? It's the homie Dame. Let's just get straight to the point. This is a video about anime and manga hot takes. I've done this many times before, and each time I do, I feel like my blood pressure rises exponentially. You could tell, right? You could tell by my expression how upset I am. Basically, I asked people on Twitter to give me some hot takes so I could talk about them on this video. Most of them were terrible though. Not terrible as in, wow, what a terrible take. Terrible as in they were just like, Attack on Titan, bad. Hot take, guys. That's not an interesting thing to talk about. Like, what am I supposed to say about that? But luckily there were a few interesting takes, so let's talk about them. Well. Crocodile Jaws 83. Let's see what you got. Good animation is important for anime. I don't care what anyone says. It's part of being an anime. If I just want a good story, I would read the manga. If I'm gonna spend my time watching something, I want it to look good, and when it doesn't, it pulls me out of it. This is true. Believe it or not, how an anime is animated is pretty important, I'd say. It'd be more of a hot take to say animation doesn't matter, which I'm pretty sure we had some people saying that before. And what a coincidence, I got a take that says something to that effect. The actual animation of a show is one of the least important aspects for my enjoyment of an anime. The story, voice acting, and music are all bigger factors. People often say the animation carried the show, but in my opinion, all those other things can carry just as hard, if not harder. Basically, these two people are saying that different people value different things when appreciating art. Because just like many things in life, art is a subjective thing. One person may care a lot about voice acting, while someone else is solely here for the writing. It's like movies, right? Some people are special effects junkies, and some people care about acting performances the most. It doesn't really matter. Neither are right or wrong. It's all preference, right? Because if this type of thing was objective, and we could definitively say that this one aspect makes an anime good, then it'd be easy to figure out what the best anime is, right? Let's just say, for example, that animation is the one objective thing we could use to determine if an anime is good or not. Well, then let's just find the anime with the highest quality animation and call it a day. That's the best anime ever, easy. But who determines what high quality animation is? Is it just the pure technical stuff? You know, how many frames, how advanced the technology is? Well, that kind of thing changes all the time. What could be considered modern and cutting edge animation now could look dated a mere 5 years from now. Maybe it's a style of artwork that objectively makes an anime have good animation. Let's just say that it's MAPPA's pseudo-realistic cinematic style. Well, if that's objectively the best style of animation that makes something good, then does something like Mob Psycho objectively have bad animation because it's a different style? I mean, you see how goofy it gets when you try to apply objectivity to a subjective medium? Just like what you like at the end of the day. Oh, would you look at that? There go my boy Swag adding another angle to this point that we could look at. Different shows have different standards for being considered a good show. You don't need insane plot twists, crazy animation, or a great plot to be a good show. It's all about how well the show achieves doing what it's meant to do. Nichijou is one of the best anime ever, but if you judge it the same way you judge shows like Attack on Titan or Vinland Saga, you'll never appreciate how great it is. What a reasonable and mature take. It's hard to believe that this comes from someone with a Kikuri profile pic. It's a little bit different from the first two takes, but it just drives home the point that art is a subjective medium. I'm just saying it over and over again at this point. Anime is a medium of art, thus anime is also subjective. You would look like a buffoon if you said K-On! Wasn't good because its fight scenes aren't as good as Naruto's. That's not why people are watching K-On! I'm gonna tell you right now. Also, this last point he makes is pretty true as well. Remember when I used to do that sort of thing all the time? What a nightmare. Anime / manga that kill off characters easily, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, make it hard to care for characters since anyone can be cannon fodder. The tension decreases because of the excessive use of death for plot / narration usages. This is a bad take because you use two terrible examples. Are Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen known for killing off main cast members in shocking fashion? Yeah, for sure. But if you think about it, Jujutsu Kaisen doesn't really start killing off the main cast until season 2. That means there's 30 plus episodes of spending times with characters like, spoilers, Nanami and Kugisaki, before they kicked the bucket. Pretty sure the show did a good enough job of getting us to care about them by then. Same with Attack on Titan. I mean, sure, season 1 is filled with the deaths of Scout Regiment characters, and sure, some of them were even for shock value, but are these deaths hollow and meaningless? I mean, I don't think so. No one we like really care about starts dying until the later seasons. Like, would you say that Erwin's death in season 3 is tensionless and that the many deaths in the show made his any less impactful? Pretty sure people had plenty of time to care about Erwin up to that point. It was like 40 episodes into the show. Compare that to other anime that aren't known for wildly killing off characters but still have very memorable and critically acclaimed death scenes. Take Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Mace Hughes dies in like episode 10 after being introduced in episode 1, so that's 10 episodes to get to know him before he's killed off. It's a very well done death and it's very critically acclaimed. I mean, hey, Nina dies in the same episode she's introduced, and that's one of the most famous deaths in anime history. Are any of the main character deaths in Jujutsu Kaisen and Attack on Titan really not as impactful just because a bunch of other characters die too? I don't know. I think that's a pretty silly thing to say. Now, this person, Mint, does have a point though. Killing characters just to kill characters does decrease the tension and make it so that death has less of an impact. But that's the key. Killing characters just to kill characters. I don't think Jujutsu Kaisen and Attack on Titan were the best examples for that point. Battle shonen will always be the most popular genre in anime, not because weebs are incorrigible meatheads, but because it's the genre which animation is the most well suited to execute. Portrayals of complex emotions required for more mature dramas will always be better suited to live action. Ooh, okay, now this is a spicy take. Honestly, this topic could get a whole video of its own because I feel like it's such an interesting conversation to have. If you've watched any of these videos over here that I've made, you may know that a point that I've been making is that as of right now, live action is the superior medium to animation. Not inherently superior because art is subjective again, but in my opinion, based on the bodies of work that both mediums have at this moment in time, anime just doesn't hold a candle to live action. And one of the reasons I gave as to why this is the case is because live action film has a human element that's difficult to recreate in animation. Kind of the point Little Buggy is making here. He says portrayals of complex emotions required for more mature drama will always be better suited to live action. Yeah, exactly. It's hard to portray human nuance when the thing on the screen is, well, not human. As much as I'd love for Rin Tosaka to be real, that is not a real person on the screen. It's a bunch of lines and coloring and moving ink and stuff. But to push back on my own point and Lil Buggy's point, anime circumvents this by doing drama the anime way as opposed to the mature way pointed out in the tweet. There are a whole bunch of shows out there that show that anime can tell a compelling drama without live actors to portray the emotion. We all know we can't get Gong Yu to give a live realistic performance in an anime, so instead, a show like Violet Evergarden will take advantage of the medium of anime to do the drama visually in a way that can't happen in real life. Anime has to play to its strengths, and the strength of anime is the fact that anything is possible if you're drawing it. We can have characters act in larger-than-life ways, we can do visual storytelling that highlights the emotions and drama on the screen, and we can exaggerate reactions for, again, dramatic or comedic effect. Now, this is different from a mature drama, whatever that means, but it doesn't mean that drama in anime is less effective. So I'd actually disagree with part of this take and say that action is not necessarily the genre which animation is the most well suited to execute. Animation's strength is an endless, larger than life possibility, and that sort of thing isn't limited to just action. Think of something visually stunning like the Tatami Galaxy or the Monogatari series, or even something like Bocchi the Rock. These anime all tell stories that have been told in live action before, but they do it in a way that takes advantage of the medium of anime's strengths. If anything, battling and action-y anime are always going to be the most popular type of anime for the same reason that action blockbuster movies are usually the most popular types of movies. People like a good spectacle. They want to see explosions and shit. It's not new. Okay, now for the last take, we'll end with another 2 for 1. Most of the complaints people have about anime come from the English-speaking community. Even if they have a ton of movements for freedom of expression, they are the first to point fingers at people who consume problematic media. Basically, I'm assuming this person is saying that Western anime fans are a bit hypocritical with their critique of the problematic elements in anime. They're quick to celebrate cutting edge and boundary pushing works of fiction if they're made in the West, but the minute a foreign country does something similar, it's problematic. I don't want to put words in J Smash Salted's mouth, but that's how I'm reading this. And this next tweet kind of expands on that. Toward moral focus on anime-manga, exploitative sexuality is hardly unknown to Western works. From radical feminists like Kathy Acker, films like Salon's Happiness, and even going back to Zola's exploitative/immoral sexuality are hardly Japanese outside of media. What? Now, this is a very, very nuanced topic and kind of a touchy one as well. But hey, when have I ever shied away from a chance at getting canceled, right? But actually, I already have kind of talked about this in this video here. People in the West do generally have a double standard when it comes to Western works versus works from the wild, wacky, and perverse nation of Japan. Ooh, spooky. Nothing is scarier to Americans than foreign countries. The example Jim gives here is actually a really good one, the movie Happiness. Basically, it's a black comedy movie about three sisters, and one of them is married to this guy named Bill, who's a and he some kids, and he kind of wants to fuck his own son too, and there's a whole bunch of rape and murder, and it's all played for laughs. It's a really good movie. I'm pretty sure Roger Ebert gave it 4 out of 4 stars. Rest in peace, man. But yeah, all these weird movies out there, but I guess anime is the weird medium. And don't get me wrong, there is a lot of weird anime. A lot of weird anime. I don't think it's that controversial to say these weird scenes of 14-year-old Nadeko Sengoku are problematic. I'm a Monogatari fanboy, and even I'll say that shit's wild. But not every anime is like that. So why does all of anime get the problematic label when a Western film like, say, Leon the Professional exists? Would 12-year-old Matilda, portrayed by Natalie Portman, who was a real-life child while playing this role, and then she enters a very intimate and borderline sexual relationship with a grown-ass man? That's also a very good movie, actually. One of Natalie Portman's best performances, in my opinion. But yeah, both are very weird pieces of art with very problematic themes, and yet only anime gets the generalizing blanket statements. I wonder why. But notice how I'm not talking about the morality of consuming problematic media like this. That's a whole nother conversation that, again, could probably fill its own video. The point that these two people are trying to make with their takes is the West's hypocrisy and double standards when it comes to anime, which I agree with, though it's not exclusive to the West. Because it's not like Japanese people don't think anime is weird too. People forget that there's still a social stigma against watching anime over there in the motherland. Kind of like how in America you'd get clowned on for reading comic books before the MCU blew up. In fact, there have been numerous attempts and movements to introduce some censorship into the anime and manga industry, and you know, a lot of people are gonna blame this on the West's woke influence, but I'm gonna be real with y'all, all of our brothers and sisters back in the motherland don't really care that much about what the West thinks. Any decisions to censor anime and manga are usually the choice of the Japanese themselves. And hey, do we even want to get started on how China views these problematic works? So yeah, these are two pretty good takes. Anime is pretty weird, but so is live action film. But alright, that's enough for this video though. Not gonna lie though, y'all did a pretty good job with the hot takes in this one. It was more quality over quantity, but hey, it all worked out. I normally hate talking about anime hot takes because it's usually like, hey guys, hot take, Evangelion is overrated. Hey guys, hot take, but One Piece is the worst of the big three. None of that is interesting to talk about in my opinion, but hey, the kind of material y'all gave me in this video definitely is. So yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Comment below what you think of these hot takes, and guess that's the video. Peace. I know you act like a cutie patootie with feet swaying while laying on your belly in the bed while watching Hachikuji get harassed by Araragi. Yeah, this is true.